Hello, this is Kate from dailytarotgirl.com, and this is your weekly tarot card reading. And for this week's reading, I'm going to be using the Dark Mansion Tarot. And before I get into this week's reading, I just want to let you know that I am offering private readings until the end of July, so for one more week. And I only offer private readings twice a year. So if you would like a reading from me, now is a good time. And I'll put the link to where you can order that reading in the description box below this video. Okay, so let's get into the reading. Let's start with the first card. This first card represents Monday and Tuesday of the upcoming week. Okay, so we're starting off with the World, and I don't think you can see that whole card very well. Okay, so we're starting off with the World, which is kind of a dramatic way to begin the week. The World can signify completion. So completing some kind of a project, maybe wrapping something up, sort of coming full circle. So the beginning of the week is a good time to, finish things up, complete things, wrap things up, tie up any loose ends. I also get a sense of restlessness with this card. It's like you're yearning for some sort of an adventure. You're yearning to do something new. More than anything, though, it's like you're yearning to tap into and access a specific talent or gift that you have. I think it can be so frustrating when you know you have some kind of talent that isn't really being utilized to its full potential. And the World is really a card that invites you, it encourages you to tap into all your different gifts and talents and really work those gifts and really use them to their full potential. So one question you could ask yourself at the beginning of the week is, what do you think your unique talents are? What kind of gifts do you have? What abilities and skills do you have? And if that's a hard thing to think of or a hard thing to come up with, think about, where do your interests lie? What intrigues you? What do you feel drawn to? And what kinds of things do you enjoy doing the most? And what kinds of things, whether it's activities or skills or, topics of interest, what kinds of things make you feel like time doesn't exist? Like when you're doing that thing, time just flies by. And that's kind of a key, that's an indication of where some of your special skills might be. Okay, so next card is going to represent Wednesday, Thursday, so the middle of the week. And here we have the Nine of Cups, and the Nine of Cups depicts someone who feels quite satisfied with himself. So on one level, this can signify achievement of some sort, feeling like you've made some headway, like you're proud of yourself, you're pleased with yourself. But there's kind of a dark side to this card, and that is that this happiness, this sense of self-satisfaction is somewhat shallow because it's lacking in depth. So it's that feeling you get when you've achieved something. You're like, oh, this is great. I just achieved my goal. I'm feeling really proud of myself. But then once the initial thrill wears off, you realize that you still feel this sort of emptiness inside, and you still feel like, there's still something more out there. You don't feel entirely satiated. And so the Nine of Cups, it invites you to take a different approach to life. Instead of mindlessly going after goals, take a moment to ask yourself, why is this my goal? Why do I want this? Like, ask those kinds of deeper questions. Like, why is this important to me? Why am I working towards this, really? And once I have this thing, then what? What's that going to be like? Why do I want this in my life? Why do I want to achieve this? Or why do I want to improve on this skill? Or whatever it is that you're trying to do. Really get to the root of why it is you're going after that thing. And that will prevent you from coming to that place in your life where you've achieved everything you've set out to achieve, but you still feel miserable. So that will help you kind of narrow down what your true values are and what you really want to put your time and energy into. The end of the week, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we have King of Cups. And this King of Cups kind of cracks me up because he looks kind of like, I don't want to say he looks miserable, but he looks like he has the potential to say like snarky things, which is so funny because I don't normally think of the King of Cups that way. So he's kind of a funny king to me. Okay, so the King of Cups is about really being at home with yourself and being at home with your emotions and finding that balance between being able to tap into your emotions without feeling like you're losing control. Because emotions are such an unpredictable thing. And sometimes I think there's this fear when we start to feel an emotion. And I have always had this fear. So when I start to feel an emotion welling up, if I let that emotion be there and if I let that emotion get bigger, I have this fear that it could engulf me and it could just totally take over and I would just lose control. And the King of Cups, he is really a master at allowing his emotions to be there, really observing his emotions and not trying to suppress them, but he also has no fear that they're going to take over and that he's going to lose control. So he has this balance between exploring the emotions and the emotional realm, which is an unpredictable realm, but also feeling calm and confident and in control. This is about striking a balance between being able to express your emotions and being able to express yourself without coming across as totally hysterical or out of control. Because I don't know if you've ever had that experience where you've tapped into an emotion, maybe it's anger, maybe it's sadness or frustration, and you're expressing that to someone, and it's sometimes hard not to yell or raise your voice or appear, irrational and appear, extreme and unreasonable. The King of Cups knows how to tap into his emotions and communicate them without overwhelming the other person. Because he feels calm, he's confident, he's in control, and he can do that without it being a big scene. So that's the beauty of the King of Cups. Okay, so overall, let's take a step back. Let's look for some themes. What themes are repeating themselves in these three cards? This is what I always do when I do a spread that has more than one card. I look for repeating symbols and repeating themes. So far, I'm not really seeing any. My attention is drawn to this globe and this circle. And it feels like this circle, it's like almost in the shape of an egg, and it's containing something. Just as the planet Earth contains everything that is on that planet. And then the cup that the Knight of Cups is holding up is also this vessel of containment. It's containing what's in the cup, which is water, and water represents the emotion. So this is about, I think, being able to contain yourself, being able, oh, and there's a cup right here too. It's about being able to contain the emotions, contain yourself. Help me out. What else do you feel this symbolizes? And do you notice anything that's jumping out at you on all three cards? What stands out to you with these three cards? Is there one card that draws your attention in? The one thing that draws my attention, like I said before, is this circular thing. And it's almost like this is a portal into another way of living, another way of perceiving life and reality. And I'm not sure where to take that or where to go with that idea, but that's what I'm getting from this. And I guess when you think about it, when you begin to learn how to tap into your emotions and channel them and, connect with your emotions and communicate with them, it is like you're stepping into another portal, another way of experiencing life. If you're used to experiencing life from a rational mental mind kind of way of looking at things. If you go into the emotions, it can give you a different perspective. So I feel overall this week is about, on one level, it's about doing self-work and self-growth. I feel like it's also about getting into the emotions, getting into our feelings, finding out, what really makes us tick, what really drives us, and how can we contain our emotions and explore them and allow them to flow freely. Some interesting questions to contemplate. So I hope you've enjoyed this reading. I hope you found it helpful. You can find out more about learning tarot cards on my website, dailytarotgirl.com. And if you enjoyed this video, you can subscribe. Just click on the little red subscribe button in the bottom of this video. And I do these videos every week. Usually I post them on Fridays, but today I'm a little late. I'm posting on a Saturday. So thank you so much for watching and have a beautiful week.